What hill? I started playing Silent Hill F with the intent to recreate the magic of my Little Nightmares video, doing an in-depth analysis of the story and seeing what it was really about. I didn't know much about the Silent Hill series going in, other than that it can get pretty wonky, the music's groovy, James Sutherland murdered his wife, and Silent Hill is a manifestation of his guilt. Why would you do that? I dove in, analyzing every detail, reading every note, every journal entry, and trying to predict where things were going. What could this be a metaphor for? What is Rinko intending? Why is this guy's clothing so loud? That was until the story started pissing me off and I exchanged my red thread for a red pen. This game about a Japanese girl in a Japanese world struggles to keep itself together between the writing being all over the place, the game forgetting that it's a horror game, to the gameplay itself shooting itself in the foot. Since I lost interest in my original plan, I think it's best I use all this time and effort already spent and redirect it to do a full review of the game instead. So grab a rusty pipe, crack open a ramune, crack open, dude, dude, open the ramen. I'll open the ramen. Holy crap, what the frick? Just open the freaking ramen. My gosh, that was pathetic. Crack open a ramen. I need a workout, holy frick. Come to terms with your traumatic past, and let's get started on this video as Silent Hill F. What? Oh my gosh, it's Shimizu Hinako from Silent Hill. Allegra Sophia, everyone. Allegra, what the frick are you doing?
What the frick am I doing? What the frick am I doing?
Yeah.
Thomas, did you even read your own script? I'm not saying any of this.
Why not?
Because it's super racist?
Oh, come on. How is it possibly racist?
Seriously? My first line is, hello.
Oh. Whoops, you must have gotten my racist first draft. Here.
Silent Hill F, racist second draft. All characters are voiced with an American accent, no matter the nationality, and the script is peer reviewed to avoid saying something racist again. Okay, fine, but I want to actually get paid this time.
This time?
Paying me an exposure doesn't count.
Allegra, I have $3.
I better hear 100 shoutouts in this video.
You got it! I have $62,000 in my checking account. Anyway, she does raise a good point. For the sake of cultural sensitivity, I should probably disclose that. I'm sure it's subtle, but I am not Japanese. I'm like 88% American and like 20% lizard person. I am destined for Congress. On top of my ethnic crime of being white, sorry, I also don't watch anime, so my exposure and understanding of Japanese culture mostly comes from like 6 sources, one of which is Assassin's Creed Shadows. So despite what my friends say, I am not a weeb, and I'm pretty ignorant to a lot of Japanese culture. On the flip side, I did do a decent amount of research on Japanese history for this and another project that may never see the light of day. While I'm gonna do my best to be accurate, I'm probably gonna get some stuff wrong because I'm stupid. Please give me the benefit of the doubt here and assume I'm stupid instead of assuming I'm hateful. Here's an open invitation to correct anything I say about Japanese culture in the comments. Just say, Thomas, you are dumb stupid. This is why. Or use your own voice like an adult. Okay, with that being said, let's talk about the setting a bit. This game takes place in a bit of a transitory time in Japan's history. It was post-World War II, but only just starting to become the more modern Japan that we know today. The old traditions of Japan were beginning to fade and be influenced by more Western ideals. Now, note, Even in modern 2026, Japan is still pretty different from a lot of the West as far as culture goes. But I think we all know the common joke about Japan not really being the same after we nuked them. This was in the middle of that shift. Pre-hentai, post-samurai chopping random dudes' heads off just to test a new sword. Real thing, by the way. In the middle of that is the very patriarchal family structure clashing with women going, wait a minute. This is as much context as I went in with, I'm afraid. You could say my understanding of Japanese culture is a little foggy. I'm gonna talk about fog now. If you take a quick look around, fog. The fog is an important part of the Silent Hill franchise. Failing to put it in would be like setting Star Wars in New York City.
Luke, I am your father.
Nuh-uh.
The f*** you mean, nuh-uh?
Get out of the street, you friggin' moron!
Initially in the original game, it was put in place to hide a crappy render distance. However, it added so much to the atmosphere that it became a staple of the series. As tech got more advanced, so did the fog effects. However, they always seemed to botch it just a little. Each game made the fog feel more like smoke than fog. Even in the recent Silent Hill 2 remake, the fog is just wrong. If you look at this footage that I definitely recorded in a safe way and absolutely not while driving, you'll see Washington State's dense winter fog for comparison. You can see that these wisp clouds that we see all over the place here in the Silent Hill 2 remake are not present in my footage from Silent Hill, My Backyard. Even if I'm generous using this footage I got over a pond in the wind, doesn't do that. But if we compare all of this to Silent Hill F, then they look pretty close. I really like how it looks here where the sunrise peers through the lighter fog, making what is essentially an apocalypse into a new dawn. Or in this area that looks like anyways, fog, yeah. I think I'm out of things to say about fog, so I should probably talk about something else, right? How about music? What you are listening to now is an ambient artist called Not E. Their self-proclaimed Silent Hill-inspired ambience has become my go-to music to listen to while I'm trying to write or fall asleep. And to put it bluntly, their music is most of the reason I wanted to get into Silent Hill. So, how does Silent Hill compare? Pretty good. But I prefer Not E. Akira Yamaoka returns to compose the music for this game. His previous work took heavy inspiration from industrial music back in the day and made heavy use of sampling. Samples that I found a few of, by the way.
That's the power of your name. Just a mention makes a way. Giants fall and strongholds break.
He returns with these techniques to score the fog town with ethereal sounds and stuff. His use of sampled synth pads is clearly where Not E gets their inspiration, and I can see why. It does a great job of disorientating you in a strangely peaceful way. It gives a feeling of strange longing, a contradiction of wanting to leave this horrid place while not being ready to move on. I wonder if that ties into any of the themes of the game at all. He also makes use of throat singing and very disturbing vocal screams that sound like death rattles on top of taiko drums and metallic percussion to make the combat or chase music. It is effective, to say the least. I sent some to my sister who likes scary music and she approved. However, there's a second composer this time named Kensuke Anagi. Kensuke Anagi. That's gotta be how it's pronounced. I'm gonna go with it. Kensuke Anage. Kensuke. Probably, yeah. Who composed the Dark Shrine sections. He made heavy use of many traditional Japanese instruments such as the koto, shakuhachi, and probably a sho. And a single dissonant chord from a pipe organ at one part.
Is that a pipe organ?
If you've ever watched my videos on A Plague Tale, then you know I love pipe organ. Inagi even used a few traditional songs for a few of the scenes, including this scene where Hinako, how about a skit to make it funny and not get age restricted?
And here we have the ceremonial blade. We use it for... I don't know why you did that.
I don't either!
Both composers make good use of leitmotifs. The main theme of the game seems to double as Hinako's theme and is this super catchy melody that once you hear it, it will get stuck inside your head. It's properly spooky while giving the composer room to make it sound more tragic as needed. Or, with the Dark Shrine instruments, super horrific sounding.
Now then.
Then there's that traditional song that's used as the motif of the Dark Shrine and the Fox. The fact that it actually is a traditional song harkens to the Fox and the Shrine's ancient and more traditional background, hence why they play it over some of the horrible ritual stuff. I don't know what the original composer was intending with this creepy melody, but Kensuke makes great use of it here. One could say he killed it. He killed it. Editor, I need you to go to the next section. That was a transition. Ow. Oh my gosh. Ah, please have mercy on a witless sinner like me. Frack! This is a video game, so naturally, you must kill everything you see, including Rinko. I started playing this game while simultaneously playing Dying Light the Beast, and that was bad for my expectations, to say the least.
Is it dead?
Where the Beast's combat is hard-hitting, fast-paced, super gory and satisfying, whose only real flaw is that your weapons break after killing like 40 zombies, Silent Hill's is slow and kinda clunky. Each swing takes about 2 to 3 business days to actually connect with your target, and that's assuming you don't keep horrifically undershooting your shot like me. Oops. Oh, and your weapons break if you even think about attacking something with it. This kind of pissed me off for a while because I felt like Hinako was a worse fighter than me in real life, and the only fights I've ever been in were just me being beat up by someone stronger than me. The more I played, however, and the more I got used to hitting the correct buttons at the right time, the more I grew to enjoy the combat. The way the frame pauses to make you feel the impact, or as I believe the kids call it, an impact frame, the sound design giving your hits weight, the slow intentionality of it. After all, I do prefer combat that doesn't require me to be on Adderall. even though I should probably be on Adderall regardless.
I have crippling ADHD.
It's not perfect, but it does get the job done. However, I would like to circle back to the weapon degradation thing because, oh boy, these weapons are made of some cheap crap. I have yet to see a game where weapon degradation improved the experience in any way. Supposedly, it's to force players to make decisions on if they want to actually fight the monsters or not. This is a video game, so of course I'm killing the doll lady in front of me. Besides, the game doesn't really have stealth mechanics and I'm stuck in hallways, so fighting's kind of the default action. However, the devs apparently think it's more fun if my weapon is made of a collection of unglued Jenga pieces and breaks in time for me to get in yet another fight with Mr. Where's My Hug. Thank God this isn't an issue in the Dark Shrine. The Dark Shrine is this separate section of the game where you use the same consumables as you do in the Fog Town, but you get weapons with infinite durability. But that raises a question. Why doesn't the durability mechanic carry over? If the mechanic is to add strategy of whether to fight or not, then shouldn't it be in the shrine? If not, why is it in the game at all? Speaking of the Dark Shrine, it's time to talk spoilers because it's relevant to the topic at hand, so either click off and go play the game or don't. Okay. Hinako turns into a werewolf about halfway through.
Werewolf.
Werewolf. It's odd and a little goofy. Okay, a lot of goofy, but it's pretty fun, so it gets a pass from me. There's enough depth here that once you unleash the beast within, you can really enjoy it. It's like beast mode in Dying Light, but instead of ripping dudes' heads off with your bare hands, you just go. I joke, it's actually pretty fun. Plus she has an ultimate where she becomes invincible, so that's pretty cool. Some of the boss fights are a little rough, but I did find I had more fun with them during New Game Plus, so I think that was just me getting frustrated that I didn't instantly understand how to kill them. So you know, I am once again proving that I'm stupid. However, despite that stupidity, I can confirm after analysis that my struggling with the puzzles was not me just being stupid. Hey, this...
I'm looking it up. I don't care.
Have you ever encountered a puzzle that you looked at for like 12 seconds and just instantly decided that you were just gonna look up the answer? Well, that's half the puzzles here. They're either press random crap in a room until one of them opens a door, or they're so obtuse that it raises the question of if I'm actually supposed to just look this up on GameBoomers.com. I said that as a joke. This site still exists. For example, in the middle of one of the only good puzzles in the game, you have to either be psychic or have the ability to ask Siri a question. The Scarecrow puzzle has you analyzing the Scarecrows to see who matches what description. Get it wrong and the Scarecrow attacks you. However, one section requires you to know the nature of the characters' dynamic with each other, namely Hinako and Rinko, before the game has shown you their dynamic. So again, am I actually expected to go Google the answer, or were you thinking we'd just keep guessing and wasting precious resources on these fights? Then there's this one where you literally just pick a random room, kill everything inside, leave, pick a new one, repeat ad nauseum until you pick the 3 correct rooms and get 3 tokens. Then you place the tokens in the correct slots by comparing a poem to this mural of foxes and a line holding lanterns and stuff. Sounds easy, until you realize that none of the slots match any of the poem's descriptions. So you have to take up an interpretive look at it and hope your interpretation is the same as the underpaid employee who wrote this crap. You know what? Frick you, overpaid, pay them less. Rapid fire some examples to prove my point and cut down on time. To find this picture of Hinako that you need for a different puzzle, you have to follow this enemy you're supposed to be afraid of down a narrow hallway when there's a bigger room to get your attention more in focus. This maze of colored latch doors that sends you in circles until you happen to get the exact path incorrect. Pretty much the entirety of the Shimizu household is awful, but especially the puzzle to get into Hinako's room. It requires the same level of interpretation as that fox mural I was talking about. I remember there being more, but I think I blocked it from memory. I mean, seriously. The lack of reasoning behind these puzzles is scary. No, I am not trying that hard on these transitions. That is the most positive experience I've ever had with a woman. If you look at the reviews of this game, critics will say it's one of the scariest games in the series. But if you look in forums, everyone seems to universally be going, not that bad. I myself have become mostly numb to horror, usually needing something specific to get under my skin. And while there were a few pretty disturbing moments, the middle school is really the only place I got full-blown scared, if we don't count getting jump scared, because let's all say it together, jump scares create surprise, not fear. Why didn't you say it? This bit with the radio is so simple, but so effective in that it doesn't ever release the tension at any point, so you're just left there alone thinking that some unknown is coming.
You've had your chance.
Oh, I don't like that.
Where are you? Found you.
Oh, I really don't like that. I really don't like that. I'm going to this note. I'm going to this note to hide behind it. I really don't like that. I really don't like that. Oh no. Oh, it's just gonna be another one of those monsters, but like just, oh, I hate that. Oh. Please. I'm so freaked out. I really didn't like that. I don't like it because all these other horror moments haven't really had much build up. Oh. We're gonna skip that. Oh, but the thing that saw me's in here. Boss battle I don't want to do that I'm not really have the resources for. The thing in here that I can't identify but says it found me. Hide the door. Hide the door. Hide the door. Get your big head out of the way, Hinako. Hide the door. Okay. Hinako, I'm begging you, please. I am trying to use SWAT tactics. I mean, aside from that, though, I had a shocking amount of moments that were meant to be scary that played more as awkward. I need to get past you. I'm just gonna... Now run! I can hear you! What did you... In a minute. Oh. Don't trust him. I trust him implicitly. Pardon me. Whoops. Whoops. Bye. There seems to be a jump scare. Okay. See ya. I think it's important to remember that what is scary in real life is not necessarily scary in fiction. Like, bears are horrific in real life. A 600-pound dog that wants to eat you alive is horrifying. But watching Bidwell get taken by one doesn't send chills down my spine. Watching this sentient skin crawl at me and reanimal absolutely does, however. Why? The fear of survival doesn't carry over into fiction because we aren't in danger. We can fear for characters' lives, but that only goes so far. So it has to be something so unnatural that it makes us question what we know about reality. Or just stick a pale woman in a white nightgown. Jokes aside, I know it when I see it. I look at a zombie and I feel nothing. I look at the doctor, no, stop. So let's quickly see how Silent Hill F does in portraying the spooky and the scary. Holy crap, did you guys see that? Let's start with this naked doll lady thing. Her movement, oh, get used to me not saying the actual names because I don't see them in game and I don't care enough to look them up. Her movements are classic inhuman thing trying to look human, which reaches into the uncanny valley. The uncanny valley is a very effective way to trigger fear. But after like 20 minutes, it just becomes,
Oh, look, a woman.
I really hope I'm not getting age restricted for merely showing this thing. Up next is the beehive of dolls that pukes mushrooms all over the place, and honestly, I think I'm more afraid of an actual beehive. Big guy with a skin infection is one way to prove I don't have a fear of obese people, and my fear of the doctor comes from the fact that he's on the ceiling. Doggy Slenderman Wendigo thing is alright. There's nothing about it though that screams, well, me screaming. Except this bit.
An assortment of small fruit-flavored candies that melt in your mouth. Ah, well, I'm glad I had that. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Referenced Mr. Where's My Hug earlier. He leans into the fear of sexual predators that is common, but as an adult male, that doesn't scare me so much as it just fills me with rage. This disgusting thing that, quite frankly, I'm not risking getting age restricted over because I can't tell if the mounds all over its bodies are warts, boils, or boobs. Either way, probably the most disturbing design in the game for basic enemies. Also the most annoying to fight because they don't die. Super gross, but I wouldn't say creepy or scary. None of the boss fights are scary. You're telling me that the culmination of horror in this horror game is a frickin' fox?
Out of love and respect for you, I force myself to abide by the rules of human courtship. But if by honoring your traditions, I risk losing you, then I'm afraid we will have to do things my way from now on.
An incel fox? The atmosphere's a little spooky, but for how much the combat is center stage, and the scariest thing in the game is also the easiest to kill? We've got nothing here aside from the middle school and—
We get it. Can we keep moving and grooving here, Thomas?
Yeah, I guess, but don't use dialogue to advertise your music.
Then pay me. Wow. Thomas really needs to focus, Producer's Cut available on all platforms, and talk about the story.
I'm gonna show you the story as I first encountered it. I'll add my thoughts as we go where I feel appropriate. The story starts with child Hinako complaining to her sister that girls won't let her play with them because she plays with the boys. Boys, 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 boys. Then we cut to her being a teenager and giving Junko a bell without showing Junko's face. Title card with some sick tunes. Then we watch her dad yell at her for something unclear and Hinako leaves. It doesn't show the parent's face either. That was something I thought was gonna be super important, but spoilers, doesn't seem to matter. Junko is the only one they even commit to the bit with. Small nitpick, doesn't matter. Skip, I found a note about geysers. This definitely also doesn't matter or anything. Isn't like super important to the plot that's relegated to a background detail or anything. You go to the town of Ebisegaoka and no one is there except for these women gossiping.
It's a curse. It has to be. How else could she die like that? I would never. Not that family. Shh. Someone's going to hear you.
I'm gonna level with you. I have beaten the game and watched a bunch of Terra A. Devlin videos on this game, and I still am only able to guess what they're talking about. We're introduced to Sakako, whose first words to us are,
You traitor!
Whatever happened to hello? How are you?
Where are you off to?
Well, I was thinking of backstabbing someone with Benedict Arnold in Italy.
Don't usually see you around here.
Yeah, can't imagine why.
Then we go to Chizuruya and meet up with
It's true.
This is our best friend in the world who immediately gives us drugs. Hot. These pills will be used throughout the game as health items. And definitely nothing else. Riko shows up to say hi to the drug-dealing footwear, and you as well, less enthusiastically. Sakako rides up on a bike. The place is 6 feet from your house, and you took the time to take your bike, whatever. The fog comes and Sukako drops dead from flower. Y'all run, Junko drops a ladder for you without being present. No questions, I got a lot of ground to cover. Doll lady, learn to kill doll lady. Circle back to Sukoko's garden, have a mini funeral, and politely inform a blatantly monstrous doll woman with a knife that the store is closed. Common mistake. She then kills a few of them and then passes out from iron deficiency. We wake up in a dark room, do a puzzle, calmly leave, and meet Fox Mask. Yeah, they called me N95 back in college. Follow him across a swamp trail of torii gates, blah blah blah, puppy spawns, pins me in a corner, dies, I solve a puzzle, blah blah blah, we get a key. Foxy gives us half a sentence.
Once you insert that key into the Inari statue.
And a doll tells us not to trust the fox. Yeah, okay, buddy. Then we get headshotted by... Look, we get an answer to this later, but it doesn't matter for this video. Snap back to reality, Shu wakes up and freaks out when you ask where Rinko is.
She just said she needed to talk to me about something.
Rinko was supposed to be with you. How do we know if she's all right?
Oh, we were just gonna talk. Dog, I don't care. Is she breathing? This seems like a good time to bring up how Twin Peaks-esque the dialogue is. Actually, hold up real quick. Can a white boy talk about Twin Peaks for a bit? It won't feel like it, but I swear it's relevant. But truth be told, I'm probably going to go into more depth than I probably need to, so if you only exclusively care about Silent Hill F, then you can skip to this time code. However, I've had Twin Peaks on the mind for a while, and I don't think I'm going to get another chance to talk about it. So here are my thoughts on the TV show that inspired Silent Hill, Twin Peaks. I first heard of Twin Peaks thanks to my favorite show of all time that I don't reference enough, Psych. One of the episodes is just a giant homage to Twin Peaks called Dual Spires.
What did Grandma tell you about wandering off in the store? Oh, come on.
I was getting ready to say. That would have been too much.
But what got me to finally watch it was when I worked at, wait for it, that hotel for a day. And my coworker told me about how it was in Twin Peaks and that I should watch it. I was instantly captured by its tone and vibe. The setup is that a teenage girl's body washes up on shore in a small town of Twin Peaks, and the circumstances are strange enough that an FBI agent gets involved. It takes place in Washington State, where I live, so I really jive with the gloomy Washington feel. It's literally the only good part of Twilight after all. I am off topic as is. Like I alluded to a moment ago, the dialogue was something to say the least, but only built on the mystery element. You can never tell who was acting weird because literally everyone was. Two characters having an affair didn't mean that they were involved either because everyone was having an affair.
What is it with all the secret relationships in this town? It's like General Hospital.
Oh yeah, and that bit in Psych about the lady who seemed to talk to a log, that is not a bit in this show.
I'll do the talking.
All the goofy elements, however, don't get in the way of the truly dark and at times intense elements of the mystery. After all, a teenager is still dead. From drug dealers, wife beaters, pedophiles, and
literal fucking demon.
This show does not hold back. It's impressive how effectively it flips from a goofy show about a fairly isolated community to a horror show on par with The Haunting of Hill House or the real-life horror seen in stuff like Ready or Not. Then there's the dream stuff. Dale Cooper visits a dream world and literally none of it makes sense in the best way. Everything is so cryptic. Somehow he's told who the killer is, and when he goes to deliver the news, he's just like, I forgot. The mystery continues this beautiful balancing act for 2 seasons until the killer is revealed in a horrifying manner, minus the pitch down screaming that sounds goofy. I stand by that this scene might have been better if they didn't do that or just kept it to,
It is happening again.
because we all knew what that meant. Eventually the killer is caught and dies in a somehow beautiful scene about forgiveness. And with that, we have reached the end of Twin Peaks. That was the halfway point of season 2. The show keeps going. And there's a movie. And a sequel season. But wait, Thomas, you may be asking, if that was the climax of the story, why'd the show keep going? Surely it has more up its sleeve, right?
Ho, ho, ho! You'd think so, wouldn't ya?
To answer your question more succinctly,
no.
It's out of juice. All that's left are the unfinished arcs and the hundreds of red herring plot threads originally meant to keep you guessing, now serving as nothing more than dancing clowns meant to waste your time. The one cliffhanger of will Cooper get fired is not worth the pain of what this show becomes. So I encourage you, watch the show, but quit at the episode where the killer dies. They tried to bring a semblance of a plot back to the show, but by that point it was too late and the show got canceled. Left on a cliffhanger. Then there's the movie, Fire Walk With Me. It's mostly redundant. Everything we see here is stuff we already learned happened, but now it's R-rated, so the teen characters can get naked and stuff. Yeah, no one really talks about that detail when they're talking about the movie. There's this whole thing involving a character whom it never came up that she was statutory raped in the original show. And it shows her getting statutory raped. Suffice to say, I don't like the movie. Then there's season 3. This is where the show goes from lost its way to actively hostile to the viewer and intentionally wasting your time.
What the hell?
When I first saw this clip of David Lynch yelling at a lady for telling him to cut a scene's time down, I was like, yeah, you tell that corpo. Let art take as long as it needs. Then I watched the first 8 episodes of season 3 and now I'm on that lady's side. Also, calm down, you old man. Don't be a douchebag, you pretentious a-hole. The Return's biggest problem is its very clear lack of any real direction.
I am 24 minutes into the third season of Twin Peaks, and I am yet to see a scene that was connected to a previous scene in any way, shape, or form. I don't even know half of these characters, and the ones that I do recognize are just saying things. Does this show have a plot at some point?
Dale Cooper, the main character, doesn't even enter the real world for 3 whole episodes. And when he does, he isn't even lucid. He just goes on some side quest taking over the life of some guy who looks like him. This leaves David Lynch's character as the pseudo-protagonist until Dale eventually becomes an actual character. In episode 16!
So I'm on, currently, episode 6, and he's been doing this for like 3 episodes straight. And guess what episode? I just looked it up because I can barely take this anymore. It's going on for way too long. Guess what episode he goes back to normal? 16. There are 10 more episodes of this crap. This show sucks.
So between the main character not progressing the story in any way and pretty much zero cohesion in the plot in general, what is happening on screen? No, don't click away. We're in this together. No. You had your chance to leave. Do not pull out your phone. Watch this crap. Understand my pain. All right, now imagine this in the middle of an already boring show. This isn't even the only time this stuff happens. Dr. Jacoby was a character that mattered in the original series. Now we get to watch him spray paint shovels. Several of them. For minutes straight. Episode 8 is probably the worst offender of this. I swear I'll get back to Silent Hill F. About halfway through, and after a full unedited live performance of a Nine Inch Nails song, it swaps to the other world where all the supernatural stuff happens, called the Black Lodge. What the Dark Shrine is to Silent Hill F, the Black Lodge is to Twin Peaks. Each scene here is paced so slowly that every action takes like an extra minute to do because that's dreamy, I guess. Anyway, back to the point. Literal TV static. Yep, literal TV static. Or this bit with hobos burning down a building, edited like a YouTube poop. This is where I quit watching, by the way. I could not take this crap anymore. I feel like I was just getting the middle finger repeatedly. It doesn't help that this show was like the musical Cats. It's hours on end of characters being introduced and then leaving. Oh, and then there's—
For the love of God, man, can you get to the point? I sit down to listen to a video about Silent Hill and you know, Pyramid Head and Siren Head and whatever the hell else goes on in Silent Hill. To be honest, I've never played the game. And what am I treated to? Not a dialogue about Silent Hill, of course. No, that would be silly. Why would I expect to get what the video was actually, you know, advertising itself to be talking about? Instead, what I get is 10 minutes about Twin Peaks. And then you have the audacity to say that Twin Peaks doesn't actually stick to the subject enough.
Well, yeah, the story goes on too many tangents.
Yeah, so do you. I have seen politicians be more direct about what they're trying to talk about.
Hello.
It's like sitting down with Brett Dasovic and trying to get through a conversation without him bringing up the X-Files or Veronica Mars.
Who?
I'm not even mad that you're talking about Twin Peaks. It's just, make a video on Twin Peaks. If you want to talk about Twin Peaks, do it. Goddamn, man. Just not in the Silent Hill video. I mean, what, did you forget to take your meds today?
Oh, well, actually, I don't.
Because I did. 12 pages into a video about a guy who disappeared in Wyoming, I'm still talking about Abraham Lincoln. Granted, Abraham Lincoln is somewhat relevant to the plot of the episode, but seriously, like, just enough Twin Peaks. Silent Hill. Tell me about I don't know what is going on.
Okay, fine. I'll get back to Silent Hill. Gosh, rude. Was that Aiden Mattis? We move through the fog only to lose Shu again. He overemphasizes the word partner. Then we reminisce about our childhood. Your friend was murdered in front of you like maybe an hour ago. Scarecrow puzzle, jump scare. We are now at Rinko's house. Rinko seems happy to see Shu, and Shu reacts completely naturally.
What in the world is going on?
What's going on?
We go inside and Rinko shows us that the bridge out of town is destroyed and the only way out is through the mountains. You trip down the stairs and in no way was Rinko possibly involved. And we wake up in the Dark Shrine once again.
What happened?
I fell.
I will now skip almost this entire section because nothing story related happens really until the end.
This water is divine. Sweetheart, this water is divine.
Anyway, Sukako is here, but it's not really Sukako. It's a thing pretending to be Sukako, but maybe it is Sukako. I don't get it. You kill it in gameplay, but in the cutscene it's back and ready for more until Fox Mask returns to tell it to piss off. Fox tells you that in order to go further, you must cleanse yourself with water.
That's clearly lava.
We drink the spicy water and pass out. Back in the real world, Rinko secures her innocence by explaining how we fell.
You klutz. You fell down the stairs.
And then we get moving and grooving. Outdoing your body. There, happy, Allegra?
I've already referenced that one.
Hey, Allegra, you want to be my 13th reason? Fast forward, you head to the middle school and you overhear Rinko talking to Shu in private.
Cut it out.
That did not look like them.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm gonna keep bringing it up until you snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
I said, knock it off. Seriously.
Look, I'll just come right out and say it. Hinako's dead, okay? She's gone. She's living a better life in another world.
Oh. Partner, what took you so long? Come on, let's get going.
Are we gonna bounce off that? What?
Okay, I would love to pause and talk about that, but there's not really much to say about it yet because we gotta finish the game first. I'll let Past Me have a thing or two to say in replacement. Suffice to say, I'm right.
I'll bet Sakuko wasn't the one that died. I died.
That's boring. I mean, sure, but that doesn't... The thematic stuff that's been going on has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with just being dead the whole time. Unless they're able to tie it into like ideas of like being prepared for the afterlife and do you trust new traditions to get you there or old traditions or something like that. I don't see what this twist has anything to do with the themes. You then progress through easily the scariest level in the game.
You stop that right now. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna carve you up, Rinko.
However, no story here other than just repeating a dynamic we're already familiar with at this point. Rinko has a giant crush on Shu and hates Hinako because Hinako keeps getting in the way of her hanging out with Shu.
Is it just me, or are there more of those weird monsters?
Well, all sorts of weird aliens kept popping up when we played Space Wars, right?
That's somebody asked!
Hinako, has anyone ever told you that when you talk to Shu, you sound kinda manly?
Rinko, has anyone told you to kill your... We're all caught up? Good.
Hi, Editor Thomas here. Forgot to mention, Junko shows up behind a wall and tells you that your friends are going to betray you like they say you betrayed them, which is stupid when you find out what the betrayal is. I'm still confused about that. Okay, that's it. Bye.
Hinako gets eepy, goes back to the Dark Shrine, and almost sees the fox behind the mask.
He's Asian?
Here is one of the worst levels in the game. Crappy, tedious puzzles left and right. Also, hypnotized you can kill your friends. We lock Sukuko in the dark by herself, triggering a heart attack, drop Rinko in lava.
No way!
I'm gonna drop her in the lava? That's such overkill for how bad of a person she is. And hang Shu by the neck. Then the Foxman says he's proud of me.
I hate this twink.
And we go back to sleep again. I have nothing else to add. I just summarized 2 hours of footage with 3 sentences. Wake up in the real world, get chased to a mountain, find this note. Oh boy, I hope this one random note isn't absolutely essential to understanding the entire freaking story. Chased by the fog monster again, sick shot here by the way, and then I finally got around to reading this diary entry that showcases what's wrong with me as a person.
There exist 2 Hinakos inside me. There are 2 Hinakos inside of you. One is gay. One is gay. You are gay. Oh, I can't breathe. It was like I got flashbanged.
We get to Shu's house, but he's not there. So we go inside for 14 seconds and hear a noise at the door.
Shu!
Now that we've been yeeted by a Yeti, Hinako feels a nap coming on, so a nap we take. Back at the Dark Shrine, our doll once again warns us that we are in danger, but Hinako is illiterate, so she ignores that. We do a ritual that I alluded to earlier where we cut our own arm off, get branded, and have our face sliced off, so that we can become werewolf. We fight the imitation of Rinko, and any subtleties the writing had before go completely out the window for the most anime crap I've ever seen.
My name is Shimizu Hinako!
This is taking a very anime route I was not expecting.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. The writing here low-key sucks. It's super literal and on the nose. Hinako, for some reason, starts trying to be Rinko's therapist. Mind you, she just burned her alive like 2 hours ago in-game and just sliced her own arm and face off. Girl, Rinko is the sane one here. Yas Queen? Let me hear it from the ladies in my audience. Holy crap, there's 2 of you? Jokes aside, this is where I started doubting if I still wanted to do a video on this game. The writing is not just out of place for this scene, not just unrealistic, not just out of character, but now seems like a good time to remind you that this is a horror game. For reference, here is midway through Reanimal.
Oh. 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 Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
This bit, while kind of fun, has completely jumped the shark, and I sure hope the game doesn't expect me to take it seriously after this. Hinako wakes up in the real world, gets a call from her mom to go home with Shu screaming in the background, and Junko shows up.
You don't seem like your usual self.
Oh, really, Hinako? What makes you think that? Are the robes not her usual style or something? Something, if you had the chance to change your fate, would ya? Flashback to some kid named Kodayuki getting bit by a fox and... Okay, this isn't just important. This is arguably more important than everything else we've seen in the story. So remember this ultra brief, random, out of nowhere cutscene because it's vital. We go to the Shimizu house and this level can go F itself. 3 versions of the same house with specific puzzles and pieces in each one, and they have the audacity to change the color scheme of the first one to further confuse you. Oh, and once you Google what to do, it still takes forever. Anyway, cutscene of your dad being abusive and your mom defending him. And look, more cutscene of your dad being abusive and your mom defending him. At least this time it's revealed that the dad got scammed out of all of his money. Then we have a schizophrenic meltdown where we threaten ourselves saying that we're gonna kill everyone we know. Oh yeah? Not if I do it first!
We find our friends hanging around, but now in the real world.
Boss fight with your parents, they lose and wander off like a cartoon character who just got told he couldn't play with the cool kids. Faceless Yeti wearing a Pope uniform decapitates him. No, I didn't skip anything there. Back at the Dark Shrine, they drink water for 2 minutes straight. Cue the sweeping scene from Twin Peaks Season 3. We skip to the end of the level and one of the funniest cutscenes I've ever seen plays.
Of course.
Did you kill it? Is it gone?
Yes.
Is it gone?
You.
I see. For today only. This will be our little secret. But if it happens to remain alive even after today, as your sister, I'll kill you, Vinelist. For his sake as well.
Shall I give you 2 a bit more time?
He gave us 12 seconds!
Did you have a good discussion?
Another ritual that's marriage adjacent, snap back to reality. We chase Pope Yeti II down, but it grabs you and Junko tells it to kill you for your own good. Spoken like the Canadian government. In the Dark Shrine, it's revealed that we are the Pope Yeti. We go home as Werewolf Hinako in the quite beautiful sunrise of our town, and go home to show our mom and dad how big and strong we've gotten. Wake up in the Dark Shrine as human Hinako and confront Junko.
Ah, Hinako, you look lovely. What was that?
Yeah, I got a pole in the living room. Yeah, I got a pole in the living room.
Okay, I'm gonna take those pills from you.
Hey, don't piss on my back and tell me it's raining.
I'm not. I'm just trying to.
I'm stuck inside this spot. I call my anxious sucks.
Now we have a boss fight with Yeti U, but during the fight, a ton of red pills we've been taking the entire time keep spawning. After we beat us, we start killing everything in our path and yelling about how we want to leave this place. Except now we have like infinite pills and we can hear people yelling at us to stop.
What the hell are you doing? Hey, are you insane?
Shut up! Out of my way! Leave me! Leave us the hell alone! What are you talking about? Are you crazy?
You're taking this too far!
Shut up! Shut the hell up!
We run and we kill and we chug pills until we reach an area flashing red and flip out next to ourselves yelling for everyone to leave us alone and roll credits, I guess. Wow, that ending sucked. That ending really sucked. Like, that was highly unsatisfying. Oh, there's an after credit scene. But it's just police saying that we went crazy and stabbed people because we're on drugs. Seriously? That's what we're going with? We were a drug addict the whole time? That has nothing to do with any of the key themes of the game. No, there is no way that is actually the ending of the game. There has got to be something I missed. Okay, looks like there's multiple endings. Okay, so I just gotta get the true ending, but you're joking. There's no way. I have to get the other endings first? I have to beat this game 4 frickin' times?
There goes gravity!
Of all my complaints about this game, I'd say this is the absolute biggest sin of all. For frame of reference, here's a list of some of my favorite games of all time and how many times I've beaten them. Notice how some of them, including A Plague Tale Requiem, have less than this game requires for you to get the full story. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is probably the worst way to tell a story I've ever seen. In order for the story to continue in a satisfying way, you have to go through the entire story again just for them to change a few details here and there. Imagine if after watching Fellowship of the Ring, before moving on to Two Towers, you had to rewatch Fellowship again first. The only story skips you really get are the whole ritual where you cut yourself to pieces since you get the arm and mask a little earlier in the game, a bit at the end from the ring ritual to you waking up in the Dark Shrine, and if you memorize a few codes from the previous playthroughs, you can skip certain sections like the second puzzle in the Dark Shrine with the faceless monster and the whole middle school, which sucks because the middle school is one of the only places this game remembers that it's a horror game. But no, it gets even worse. Because there are so few skips in the game, the game's major pacing problems go from a little annoying to all you can think about. Remember how during the summary, I would sum up hours of content in like 2 sentences? Yeah, there's not much missing there. There are these long bouts of nothing scary, nothing progressing the story, just you wandering halls that start looking very samey after a while and beating up anything that moves. In fact, I ended up dreading every Dark Shrine visit because everything here is balls to the wall boring after your first playthrough. Oh, and to make things worse, they changed the solution to some of the most annoying puzzles in the game. So these long and tedious sections get drawn out way longer than they have any right to. This fox mural puzzle needs to just get full-blown deleted. Yes, I'm aware I'm repeating myself. If there's one thing I want you to hear from this video, it's that this fox mural puzzle needs to be deleted with pretty much the entire level. Here's a great point to explain why I brought up Twin Peaks earlier. Bloat and wasted time. Yes, I know, ironic since a lot of my Twin Peaks section could have been cut, but I'm over here proving my point, so cope. There is so much to cut in this game, but the problem is that because the story is written with these 4 playthroughs in mind, that means in order to fix this, they would have to rewrite the story from top to bottom. That's what you might call rotten to the core. There is good stuff in this game, but you'd have to ship a Theseus the whole story in order for those parts to stand out better. Look, if you don't mind playing this game 4 times because you like it that much, good for you. I wish I felt that way. But much like how I felt with Twin Peaks Season 3, I feel like my time just isn't being respected in any way. You want me to give you the benefit of the doubt on smaller or even giant problems in your game? Don't waste my time doing pointless crap over and over and over again. Okay, I think I got that out of my system. I'm going to briefly explain the other 3 playthroughs.
I'm sleeping with visions here in the belly of a whale. I've got no idea why this song is stuck inside my head. Haven't heard this song in a while. In the belly of a whale. I'm in the belly. Frick me, I'm in this spot again. How did I do this?
Ending number 3. I played it in a weird order, apparently. This ending requires us to not take any drugs and give sacrifice to 5 Jizzo statues.
So the people erected a sacred barrier using Jizzo. I'm 12, I'm sorry.
Wait, how's this word pronounced? Hang on, I'm gonna Google this real quick. Jizzo, whoops. Once we do that, we are given a sword filled with hate. Good. The sword can block and automatically repairs itself, but more importantly, it triggers the next ending. Here's what information you kind of learn via notes. Hinako is being put into an arranged marriage, and there seems to be a thing between Hinako and Shu, but neither are acting on it. Aw, maybe this is a happy ending.
Oh, don't I just walk in and he's just effing dead? Things are different, so maybe that will change too.
Let's skip to the ending. We freeze our sister using the help of our doll. This won't make sense until the next ending. After beating ourselves up, Swiper the Fox picks a fight with us when...
Let's go! Why are you alive?
Then the fox turns into a fox.
This is a horror game.
After we kick the fox's shins in, he falls over and we thank him for his kindness. Chase, cue the mutilation scene. Shu recognizes him as someone they used to play with as a kid. Yeah, he's still here. Didn't help with the boss fight or anything. No clue where he went. We bailed together and have a very on-the-nose conversation about how Shu helped us because we were brave or something. Sound design on Shu's voice implies he's not himself.
To give up on your life.
And us commenting on his tie that isn't there implies what we're seeing isn't literally what's happening. Oh, and guys just destroy Ebisego Oka. Believe it or not, our fault. Ending number 2. Even though I got this one third, whatever. I'm starting off strong by miscalculating how much alcohol I could handle and playing while mildly intoxicated.
Okay, so Hinako is not the age that she, according to, I should not have. The alcohol is hitting my system. Hinako, oh frick. Okay, so pretending that Inari-sama or praise Inara-sami, praise Salami Daddy, praise.
Yeah, I did not have as much fun this playthrough. I had to entertain myself with a melodica. Anyway, to get this ending, we don't pick up the sword and instead collect the... I'm gonna call it Kool-Aid, okay?
We go to confront Junko again, and she asks how a spirit like us got in today of all days, aka the wedding day, and our doll makes her cease to exist.
We give the same speech you gave the Yeti you in the first ending, but this time, we're just a girl. We respond to us with attitude and fight.
Whoa.
Then we chug Kool-Aid and the fox guy banishes the spirit we were possessed by. Shu sucker bats Kotayuki. Yeah, that's his name technically revealed here, but if you're paying attention, you could have figured that out in the last ending. I did. I'm proud of me. We stop the beating and you and Shu have a heart-to-heart that's not as on the nose as all the similar scenes. I can't put my finger on it, but this scene is actually good. Like, I really like this scene. Everything feels real. Except the fox arm, that's still distracting. Shu turns into a multi-armed cyborg?
You are a psychologically disturbed one.
We dual animate Grievous, and once we defeat him, we get this scene of Shu and Kotayuki settling their differences and fist bumping in support of Hinako. In our after credits scene, we end on Hinako and Kotayuki being together in marriage, and this horrifying last shot. Ugh. Finally, the game was like, oh yeah, wait a minute, we're a horror game. There you go. There you go. There's some scary stuff. That was horrifying. Suffice to say, this is my favorite ending. It's the funniest one, it's the most satisfying one, and it ends on the most disturbing note on the whole game. All right, voiceover Thomas here, improvising something, because I realized I totally forgot to write it in. Yeah, here in this ending, it's revealed that Shu giving us those pills that made us go crazy was intentional. We'll discover how he did that, but like it is important. Hopefully I didn't miss anything else important. Finally, ending number 4, the true ending. I am perfectly sober and ready to stop playing this game. For this ending, we have to go get the sword again and then dip it in Kool-Aid to remove the hate within. We should try that on people. What are they?
They're people. They're people.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean?
They get less.
Great, this joke. Then after the conversion sword therapy, we sacrifice this to the Jizo statue. The frick is this thing? The brooch. Okay. When did I get this? Okay. Part 6, an hour and 7 minutes in. Okay. And oh, that's it? I have no memory of that. Okay, whatever. I don't care anymore. Once we do this, when we do the usual BS in the Shimizu house, one cutscene is about Hinako learning from her mom that her dad's abuse wasn't normal. She didn't take it lying down like Hinako thought she did. Then, in the next one where usually we were being threatened by schizophrenic us, our dad apologizes for being a bad father. We hear him out without forgiving him. Skip ahead to the ending section where Hinako interrupted my sing-along with edgy musings.
You are twisted, just like me.
Oh, shut up!
Keep moving. I can't stop now.
We then walk into the final room and announce what all of this has been about. 2 gods are warring over our fate for control over Ebisegaoka. Other us figures it out too, but it's not enough and the 2 gods force us to grapple with each other. Then we split up and get into a fight with each of the gods with the opposite loadout that we fought them with previously. Werewolf Hinako is defending Kotayuki by telling the fox god not to laugh at him, like that was some previously established pattern for Kotayuki. I'll dig into that more later. We beat them both, break from the spell. Kotayuki says he wants to go find himself and see if his love for us was just a trick of the fox. After the credits, Kotayuki sent us a letter that I must have been quite I must have been quite He's living his life and trying to enjoy it. Meanwhile, there's still two of us? I still have the arm? Why is her face back? How did you get up there? We talk to ourselves about how we can make our own decisions for ourselves, and we may propose to Kotayuki and not marry anyone. I'm gonna have another stroke already. And Eba Segaoka is quiet. Or something. Okay, now I can finally address my critiques. Does this game suck? No. Is it good? No. My main issues with this game, aside from the whole play the game 4 times just to get the whole story thing, is that certain stuff is either not set up properly or stuff gets set up and then dropped. Like me. Examples for both. Kotayuki is a character whose setup is that he is the avatar of Inari-sama, the fox god. The clan of the fox god seeks girls with special blood to marry in order for them to become more powerful. Because of that, Kotayuki wants to marry Hinako. That's it. There is all this talk at the end of him being a failure and getting laughed at, but nowhere in the story could I see that before, so it's just meaningless dialogue. At the other end of the spectrum is a lot of stuff surrounding the friends, especially Rinko. Remember how it was implied that Rinko pushed us down the stairs after the doll warned us about her? Not only does that not become relevant in any way later in the story, in New Game Plus, it implies that we actually just tripped on flowers and fell down the stairs. Rinko was right. We actually are just a klutz. Her perspective on that's probably really funny.
Where's the kitchen again?
What?
Or how about Sukako? She's introduced with the oddest catchphrase of all time, then just drops dead. We re-kill her via a heart attack, then in some notes we learn she's afraid of the dark, sensitive to the supernatural, and autistic. At any point, did any of this pop up in the story? Nope. Just world building, I guess. I don't have an issue with this on its own, but it further highlights Kotayuki's lack of development. I know nothing about this guy, so Hinako choosing him over Shu is stupid and dumb. No, she doesn't owe Shu her love, but the narrative didn't set up Kotayuki well enough for us to want to root for him over Shu, so it has to compensate with Hinako just going, I don't want him, in the last ending. In the previous endings, it's kinda implied that there are some feelings on both sides, but then it just drops that in the last ending. This is why the third ending, well, technically the second one, but I played the third, you know what I mean. That one's my favorite. Kotayuki still isn't set up, but the fact that he represents a way forward and out of a rut that Hinako feels like she'd still be in with Shu is set up. This ending pays off the themes of the game and, like I said, ends on a still terrifying note. Hinako made a choice to move on, but there's still a part of her that's terrified, and she can't fully kill that part of herself. That's a solid ending to all this. Also, this doesn't cause the annihilation of the town, but we'll get to that in a second. But that's been kind of the thing about this game. Despite the fact that this video has been like 90% me complaining and hating on the game, I think there's a good game in here. This Battle of the Gods happening in the background is a genuinely cool concept. Once I finally got around to watching Creepcast featured author Tara A. Devlin's videos on the game that expanded on the lore and details that I indeed missed, I grew to appreciate the story more and more. That was a really long sentence. What the frick? I'm sorry, did I forget that periods exist? What is my problem? Remember the guises that I mentioned at the beginning of the game and then go off in the ending where you run away with Shu? Yeah, that's actually being triggered by an ancient water dragon that was only being held at bay by the clan of the fox god. And when Hinako refuses to marry Kotayuki, there's nothing stopping the dragon from annihilating all of Eba Segaoka. That's sick. There is clearly a depth here that was highly thought through with 1,000 details for every square inch of the game. But that loops back into my main issue. This game has the same problem that Twin Peaks last season has, a lack of focus. Skipping important plot points and letting unimportant details and plot threads take over the story. If I may repeat myself, the game doesn't really respect your time. Now, I want to circle back to that bit about Hinako being dead. This is technically touched upon, but not to the extent that this scene treats it. Here it's treated like the I see dead people scene, a huge twist, but later it's relegated to a possibility? Later in the second ending, the fox explains that it's growing tired of doing things the correct way and it plans to spirit you away. By doing this, it would turn you into a missing person and thus be considered dead. But this is specific to the endings where you resist the marriage. So in the one where you marry Kodayuki, that shouldn't happen. I know time and the literal interpretation of things is pretty screwy thanks to the White Claudia thing. I'll get to that. But this is still kind of nonsensical. Plus, it's treated like some big twist, but really ends up having no real consequences on the story. As I said, literally seconds after the line, this idea doesn't really play into the themes of Hinako rejecting tradition. It's not the fate that she's fearing. She's afraid of being abused by a drunkard husband her whole life like her mom. She's not afraid of going missing or becoming a statistic. She doesn't want to become Hinako, someone's wife. She wants to be Hinako, master of her own destiny. At this point, why not make Rinko comment on how Hinako is dead because she got eaten by a bear? Has the same thematic impact. Plus, it harkens back to the greatest American adventure of all time. One more thing, I found myself getting angry at the fact that I could not figure out how the literal events of the story play out. Like, what's real and what's not. It's clear some of this is not real, like the ending where you run away with Shu implies. But how far does that go? Apparently, the answer is everything, thanks to these flowers. Yeah, skipped right over that, didn't we? Well, apparently, these are White Claudia, and are why things get screwy in all of the Silent Hill games. At first, I was super pissed that I was supposed to put that together and make sense of everything, but honestly, I'm willing to chalk it up to my fault for jumping in at the 9th entry of a series. So, I didn't write this down, but I did realize there's kind of a plot hole, and I was kind of alluding to it, but I forgot to elaborate in the script. Every other ending aside from the first one requires you not to take the pills. So why are we hallucinating? Have we still been taking the pills? Like, what's happening? Why is it when I take the pills, it drives me crazy and I just like die in insanity and probably getting shot by police? But when I don't take it, I'm still hallucinating. Am I missing something? The answer is probably like we've been taking the pills for a while and just we have to stop now or we'll, go crazy, which we're already going crazy. So, those are my thoughts on Silent Hill F, a video no one asked for and yet I dedicated like half a year on it. I hope all 6 of you enjoyed it. It seems like a lot of people online disagree with my opinion on the game, so if you're one of those people, let me know why. I'd actually love to hear the things that I missed or got wrong. Special thanks to my co-editor and unpaid manager, Chase, for helping me make this video, to Not E and Silent Haven,
and Sarah Lipstate
for letting me use their music, and a huge thank you as well to my voice actors, Allegra, and the only person I paid to be part of this, Aiden Mattis from the Lore Lodge.
You paid him?
Get back! Get back! Links to everyone in the description. And thank you for watching. I have some help now, so I should be able to get these videos out at a faster rate than once a year. So if this style of video pleases you, do yourself a favor and subscribe. Also, like the video, whether you like it or not. I desperately need help boosting the video so I can stop my day job as a professional meat taster. Oh, this is cow. Yeah, okay, buddy. I recognize the Chernobyl elephant's foot when I taste it. Next video will be covering Reanimal and how the game is about how all the kids are Never mind, we're doing that next. Thank you for watching, and as always,
where else are you gonna find this content, bro?
But what got me to finally watch it was when I worked at, wait for it. Gosh, what was that?
What a voice crack, oh my gosh. I might not recover from that.
Who's there?
Surprise! Trying to jump scare the jump scare.